Manchester United in contact with Sporting Lisbon over a proposed deal for Morten Hjulmand. Ivan Toney talks on again, and Xavi Simons loan deal. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this afternoon show. But before we get into that, please smash a like on this episode. Let's try and see 1,000 likes on today's video. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. I'm live every single day at 8:30, 1:30 and 6. If you want to keep up to date with all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk, this is the best way to do it. Make sure you get involved. Everyone is welcome, right? I'm going to go straight in with Xavi Simons. So this is coming out from Manchester Evening News that apparently PSG are only willing to do a loan deal for Xavi Simons this summer. Manchester United's name's obviously in the mix here. We know that Erik ten Hag and Ruud van Nistelrooy think very, very highly of Xavi Simons. And I want to ask you this. Should Manchester United try and sign Xavi Simons this summer? There was murmurs yesterday that Man United were willing to pay 100 million euros for him. That was rubbish, I think. That's just stupid. Why would we pay 100 million euros for Xavi Simons? He's 21 years of age. Apparently, he wants to go out on loan this summer. At the moment, there are 3 clubs who are trying to get his signature. Red Bull Leipzig, Bayern Munich, and Manchester United. Manchester United see him as an option if Jadon Sancho goes. Obviously, Pellistri's going to probably go, and Greenwood's has gone. So there's 3 players on the in our attacking line that have left this club this summer already, isn't there? So we desperately need to strengthen that area, especially if Sancho goes as well. And I think he'd be the perfect replacement. Obviously, it's a loan deal, so at the end of the loan, he goes back to PSG, but it would allow us to prioritise spending big money in the central midfield area, as well as strengthening the centre-back and the right-back. But we definitely do need to strengthen our attacking line, because at the moment, you've got Garnacho, Rashford, and Anthony. And that's kind of it, really, in the wing option. So I think he'd be a really, really good option for Manchester United. He's very versatile. He can operate pretty much across the whole of the front line, left wing, central attacking midfielder, and on the right wing. So for me personally, if Manchester United are able to get Xavi Simons on loan, I would go and do that deal, because I think he'd be a really, really good addition to the squad. But let me know what you think. Should Manchester United go for Xavi Simons? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. He got 10 goals and 15 assists in the Bundesliga last season, so he was pretty prolific. That's 25 goals and assists in 38 games. So very, very good record from last season. Obviously, the Premier League's a whole nother level, and maybe he'll come and he won't get those types of records, but I still think those are good stats to go off. But moving on from that, though, I want to jump over to Ivan Toney. So this is coming out from Manchester Evening News, saying that apparently United talks with Ivan Toney as they expect the asking price from Brentford to drop. The story also says that if Ivan Toney doesn't secure a move this summer, he will leave next season for free. So Brentford effectively have to sell him now, or they'll get nothing for him next year. He can agree a pre-contract agreement in January. That would have to be with a club outside of England, though. But Brentford effectively know they need to sell him now, otherwise their resale value is going to be 0. So it looks like Brentford will be forced to sell him, and it looks like Ivan Toney will be on the move. There is quite a lot of interest in Ivan Toney. Obviously, Arsenal want him as well. Manchester United are apparently interested, but from what I've been told, Manchester United would need to sell some more of the attacking players. So Sancho, Pellistri, maybe loan out Anthony. And at that point, then they would then be able to strengthen, the attacking area. So I think Ivan Toney would be a great signing. I just feel that at the moment we need to spend our money in other areas. We all know that we need probably 2 midfielders, a centre-back, a right-back. We all know that, right? So going and spending 40, 50 million on Ivan Toney, although that's maybe a good deal, it's not where our money should be prioritised. And I think at the moment, it's all good and well Manchester United having talks and understanding the deal and understanding wages and all the rest of it, but I personally think they just see that as an option if someone like Sancho leaves, or if Pellistri leaves as well, or you know what I mean? If we get rid of a couple of players in the attacking line, then I'm sure Ivan Toney will be a hot topic. So at the moment, more talks going on. Do you want Ivan Toney at Manchester United? That's an interesting topic, and that's one that I want you to let me know. Do you think he would be a good addition to our squad? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The next story I've got for you is on the central defensive midfield. Obviously, we know that Manuel Ugarte to Manchester United has gone a little bit quiet. There is still apparently negotiations going on between United and PSG, but PSG is still demanding this 70 million euros asking price, which I've spoken about many times on the show before. I think it's an absolute joke. They paid 60 million for him last season. He sat on the bench for most of the year, and now they're asking for 70 million. It's laughable. So as it stands at the moment, unless PSG bring that price down, Man United are now looking at alternative options. Obviously, we spoke about Zubimendi yesterday. We spoke about Youssouf Fofana. And now we have apparently been heavily linked to Morten Hjulmand from Sporting Lisbon. I hope I've said his name right. I tried my best. 25 years of age, Danish international, very, very good central defensive midfielder. He was bought by Sporting Lisbon last summer for around 20 million euros. He does have a release clause of £69 million, which again is laughable. There's no way on earth he's worth that. He's probably worth maybe 30, 40 million tops. I'd put him in the same kind of bracket as like a Youssouf Fofana, like a 30, 40 million pound player. Now, apparently Sporting Lisbon are willing to sell their star man this summer, and Manchester United have apparently made contact. That's what's being reported today by multiple different people in the kind of journalism world. Do I think we'll end up getting him? Probably not. I don't think so. I think he's probably just another option. I think it's just another name that's thrown into the mix to try and make PSG sweat. Because at the moment, we have Zubimendi, we have Amrabat, we have Fofana, we now have this Morten Hjulmand guy. Like, there's 4 options that we can go and do instead of Manuel Ugarte now. And if they're going to continue saying we want 70 million, then we can easily go and sign one of these other players. They're all CDMs. Maybe Fofana is a bit more of a number 8, but Hjulmand, Amrabat, and who was the other one? Manuel Ugarte is obviously a CDM. Yeah, they're all CDMs apart from Youssouf Fofana. So Manchester United have lots of options there. Do I think we'll end up signing him? I think it's probably unlikely. I think we're much more likely to go for Zubimendi or for Amrabat or for Fofana, but it is another option, and it does mean that Manchester United don't have to be bullied into paying the asking price that PSG want. And that's the most important thing here, isn't it? In any negotiation, it's good to know that you have options. Where we went wrong in previous years was that every club knew who our number 1 target was. And they knew that we'd pay whatever they wanted. You know, with Frankie de Jong, we spent all summer negotiating. We didn't end up getting him, right? Anthony, we paid 100 million euros for because we didn't have any other alternatives. So I respect what Ineos are doing here. They're taking their time about it. Ugarte's not worth 70 million. I think we'll agree on that. He's probably worth maybe 40, 50 million euros at the moment, maybe with some add-ons. So I think it's only sensible that, they're exploring alternative options. And those alternative options obviously are the players we've just spoke about. But obviously you can let me know in the comment section, who would you go for as the new central midfielder? I personally think we need 2 midfielders. And I would go with Zubimendi. He's got a release clause of 50 million. And then I would get Amrabat, who's apparently available for around 10. That would be 60 million combined, which is still 10 less than what PSG want for Manuel Ugarte. So that would be my preference. I think that would be pretty solid. I've actually got Manuel Ugarte pretty low down on my list. At the moment, my list is number 1, Zubimendi, number 2, Fofana, and then number 3 would be Manuel Ugarte, purely because of the asking price. I just think 70 million is laughable, and Man United, for that amount of money, should probably just walk away and tell PSG to do one. We know for a fact that they're using that money to go and buy João Neves, who's a player that we really, really like and someone we want. So, yeah, it's just a joke. So, for me, no Manuel Ugarte. We should definitely be looking at alternative options. But obviously, you can let me know in the comments section below. I've got a bit of news as well for you today on the travelling squad for the pre-season tour. Now, I hope people don't get too upset about this, but Kobe Mainoo, Luke Shaw, Martinez, Garnacho and Pellistri will not be involved in the pre-season tour at all, apparently. And that is because, obviously, all of them were involved in either the Euros or the Copa America final, which was only like 2 weeks ago. And apparently every player needed to have 3 weeks off to kind of recoup and recover, which I agree with. If you've been playing football twice a week for a whole year, you need a holiday at the end. And the Premier League season starts in 3 weeks from now. So none of those players will feature on the tour, which is obviously a shame, but it's not, you can't really argue with that, can you? All of them were apart from Luke Shaw. I mean, that's maybe, Luke Shaw probably only played about 60 minutes in the last year. But let's not go down that road. I don't want to start slagging off Luke Shaw. But yeah, you can let me know what you think. Obviously, it's disappointing, but yeah, there's not much we can do about that. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Please make sure to smash a like on the video before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll be back at 6 o'clock for a live show. Thank you very much for joining me. This has been Daily Red Devil, and I'll speak to you all a bit later on today. Bye for now.